This changes everything as Victor Wembanyama is now going to be out for the rest of the season, leading the way for the Oklahoma City Thunder to have a defensive player of the year on the team, whether that be Dort, Jalen Williams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whoever it may be, even Cason Wallace if he hasn't missed enough games. One of those guys could end up winning this award, and they deserve it. They deserve to. Not to say that there aren't other players out there in the league, like Evan Mobley out there, who have been great defensive players. But when you look at what the Thunder have done as a collective, they are the best defensive team in the league. One of the best defensive teams we have seen all time. And they have three main guys kind of leading the way for that squad right now. And Dort, Jalen Williams, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So one of those three guys has to win it. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to break down today how Victor Wembanyama's injury is going to affect the Defensive Player of the Year race now, along with who I think should win the award of those three Thunder players. Before we get into that, as always, all right, around 63.7% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. It was 65 like 2 or 3 days ago. We keep on going down in that number. We'd like to see it hit 50-50 as soon as possible. So if you guys are coming back on a regular basis, you enjoy the content that we're putting out here, or if you're new and you like what we're doing here, it would mean the world to me if you could just hit that subscribe button. It's really simple, easy to do. And also, yes, if you can't tell, I still am a little sick here, okay? Get a little bit better. Hopefully in a day or two, my voice will be back to normal, and we can push out the best content as possible. Now, let's go ahead. Get into today's topic, talking about Victor Wembanyama being out for the season. This was just a random bomb by Shams yesterday, all right? Per source, The Athletic, Victor Wembanyama had experienced low energy lately. That was causing concern. When he still had low energy at All-Star Weekend and through his 2-day vacation after it, the test began that ultimately uncovered the deep vein thrombosis. The Spurs are very confident he'll be healthy and ready at the start of next season. So they're confident that he'll be back in the next, starting next season. Also, this was the Shams bomb right here. San Antonio Spurs All-Star Victor Wembanyama expected to miss a remainder. He put reminder, it's supposed to be remainder of the season with a deep vein thrombosis in right shoulder. Now, like, prayers up to him. Hope he's okay, because really only other player we've seen this with before is Chris Bosh, and it ended his career. I really hope it's not the same for Wembanyama. All right, these kind of, deep vein injuries can be career-ending if not handled correctly or caught on soon enough. Seems that they caught on soon enough. Now they have to handle it correctly. Don't push him. Let him rest up and take his time, because it is a serious injury. Like, this is one of those things where everyone talks about ACL injuries, ligaments, all that stuff. This is truly one of those injuries that could finish your career early because of the severity of it, especially with his position, how he plays. He needs to be careful. So prayers up to Victor Wembanyama, all right? But now it does leave the way open that someone else has to win Defensive Player of the Year, because he was the lock for it. All right, after Chet went down, who everyone was considering the lock beforehand because he was averaging like 3 blocks a game, was being, going absolutely crazy as the only center on the team at the moment, doing it all by himself there. And since being back, the Thunder have seen a boost in their defense as well in games that he's played. It looked like it was going to be Chet. He went down, all right. Wembanyama started playing very well defensively. He seemed like the lock. Now that he's out and won't be able to, win the award because we have over 25 games left in the season, so he'll definitely not be able to qualify for that award now. Who's it going to be? A lot of people want to say it's Evan Mobley, but I truly believe it should be one of the three Thunder guys. All right, mainly starting off with like Dort and everything. So let's go ahead, take a look by this article by Clemente Almanza highlighting this, and I do not want to hear any slander to my guy Clemente. I do like. Before we get into that, I'll go back here. I do not want to see any slander about Clemente. All right? He has worked his ass off covering this team for years now. All right? Just because of that one video of Chet Holmgren, you're going crazy? Chill. He's a reporter. That's what they do. Sorry for that little thing right there. We'll go ahead and get into it. By this article by Clemente Almanza. If you don't like it, get out now. With Wembanyama out for the rest of the season, that freezes his total at 46 games because of the NBA's 65-game minimum requirement for awards and accolades. That rolls out the Defensive Player of the Year favorite and completely shakes the odds. Before the injury, it was a foregone conclusion Wembanyama would have won the award. He's led the league in blocks, and the 7-footer's bread and butter is on that side of the floor. So now that he's ineligible, who should be the Defensive Player of the Year award? How about someone from one of the greatest defenses ever? The Oklahoma City Thunder have run away with the defensive crown. They sit in first place in defensive rating at 104.5 for perspective. The second place LA Clippers are at 108.3. The 3.8 gap fits between the Clippers and the ninth place Golden State Warriors. So that right there, that is absurd, showing that this defense is absolutely crazy. And Lou Dort is leading the way for that defense. I think everyone can agree Lou Dort is the best defensive player on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Many players have also gone out and say that he's one of the best, if not the best perimeter defender in the NBA. Luka Doncic even said it. He had his lowest points scored in the playoffs last year, all right, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was only averaging 22 a game. What happened the next series? He had to play against Minnesota, who had the defensive player of the year, and Rudy Gobert. He was averaging 30 plus. That goes to show Lou Dort can stop some of the league's best scorers in the league. I think that also testifies to Shai's, kind of growth and advancement is the fact that he had to go against someone like that every day in practice. So that right there just kind of shows you Lou Dort is the most impactful defensive player in the NBA because, yes, he doesn't get steals or blocks, but he holds opponents to almost 10 points less than their averages usually. That is absurd to do now in the NBA. Clemente also talked about the individual stats, the cases for each player as well. Now, who should get it? Take your pick out of the litter. I love elite rim protection. Jalen Williams is your guy. He stepped up as a Gen Z Draymond Green with elite instincts and wingspan. With Chet Holmgren out for most of the season, 23-year-old has turned into a defense specialist who's anchored the best interior defense. Dort being awarded DPOY could also be a makeup call. It's one of the NBA's biggest questions, why the 25-year-old has been left off the all-defense teams in his first 5 seasons, despite handling the prime James Harden assignment in the playoffs in his rookie season. Like flashiness, why not give it to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Michael Jordan comparisons have been loud all season, but are superb efficient. Both are superb efficient 30-plus point scorers on the league's far and away best team. Let's link the two even tighter, with Gilgeous-Alexander winning MVP and DPOY in the same season. He's second in league in steals, which is a flashy stat voters care about. That's why I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams are going to have better odds and chances of winning Defensive Player of the Year over a guy like Lou Dort because they get the flashy stats that a lot of people only care about and look at, steals and blocks. Lou Dort's not going to average a ton of steals or blocks. He hustled those, and he limits opponents to their lowest points scored ever, pretty much. That's what he does, all right? He is a nightmare on the perimeter. That's why he should win it. But voters don't care about those kind of stats. They care about looking at steals and blocks. So that's why you'll probably see a guy like Evan Mobley win it now. Or maybe even another Thunder player, and Jalen Williams or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could end up winning the award now because of the steals and blocks they average each game. Especially Jalen Williams now being an all-star and getting this limelight now, he could definitely win that award. That's all I got for this video. I got to stop. My throat is killing me now, all right? Once again, sorry. My voice is slowly getting back here. It's not like scratching or anything. It's just when I talk a lot, it goes out a little bit. So, like always, all right, let me know what you guys personally think. Who should win Defensive Player of the Year award? The Defensive Player of the Year award now with Victor Wembanyama out the rest of the season. Personally, I do think it should be Lou Dort, but they're not going to look at stats. That's why I think Shai has a better chance at winning it because he has the steal stat right there to show for it. That's all I got. See you guys in the next video.